The Duggar Family Tree, Kate Plus 8, and other dark TLC shows. Not Josh with the mugshot. Bah! There's no other recent pics of him, although I'm fine with it. In fact, I like it. Good work. I love that you used the pest Josh Duggar's mugshot as his picture. This is great. And I want to thank whoever took the time to create it. I do feel very bad, though, for the innumerable kids born to a specimen like him and whose identities have been out there in the open for years. It must be a great burden to grow up as his offspring. They probably need an identity change to avoid getting bullied at school. Hopefully, modern schools have enough social emotional learning interventions to prevent bullying and promote empathy. Poor Anna has a kid every 2 years. I'm glad she gets a 12-year break and can spend time with the ones she has now. Just realized a pattern. A lot of these folks welcomed their first child exactly 9 months post nuptials. Take Joe, for instance. His firstborn arrived right on the 9 month mark. I'm thinking TLC might have some answering to do. Admittedly, I've never watched their show, but it's hard to believe they recorded around the clock for years without capturing any form of abuse, be it physical, mental, or sexual. Every new TLC series seems to unearth some murky secret. It's as if they have a knack for spotlighting the most controversial figures. Just how many of their programs are now shadowed by a troubled history? Take Kate Plus 8, for example. There was this episode where Kate sent one of her children to a psychiatric facility and kept his whereabouts hidden from John, the dad. The child, desperate for rescue, scribbled a plea in crayon for John. This message reached John only when the child's roommate was discharged and managed to pass it on. Indeed, that was a real incident. John might not win Father of the Year, but he did rescue his kid from the psychiatric ward, offering a haven of safety. Kate's treatment of Colin as a family outcast since his toddler years is quite telling. Her behavior seems deeply ingrained. It does seem like one must possess a mix of narcissism and deep-seated issues to even contemplate the idea of broadcasting their family's life non-stop without any break. The whole concept is quite extreme. Throughout the show's run, Kate's behavior was consistently appalling. The way she behaved towards John and the kids was downright distressing. It seemed she was more interested in exploiting them for the lucrative TLC deals and fame. Kate could be crowned the original Karen. Her demeaning and domineering attitude was evident. In the realm of TLC's more grim series, we witnessed Mama June's descent into serious drug issues, broadcasted for all of us to see. Meanwhile, Alana, famously known as Honey Boo Boo, was in a relationship with someone 4 years her senior at just 16. That family's dynamics are riddled with troubling incidents. Shockingly, Mama June was in a relationship with a convicted sex offender who was horrifically her daughter's abuser. Shifting gears to 90 Day Fiancé, this show seems to blend a cocktail of xenophobic undertones with instances of domestic turmoil, presenting it all under the guise of entertainment. Some argue that no level-headed person would ever let cameras pry into their private life, especially to film their kids for a TV show. Then comes the counter-argument. Enter the world of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, where virtually everyone is their own director, broadcasting their daily lives. My perspective, first off, it's not necessarily a positive trend. Secondly, there's a colossal difference between parents capturing moments of their kids on their own devices and having an external film crew under a producer's direction invade your personal space. These two scenarios are miles apart in context. Capturing family moments has always been a thing, but inviting a film crew into your home, that's an entirely different ballgame. But then again, we remember the case of Jody Hildebrand, and that was a complete disaster. They were a family filming their children, but they still abused and tortured the children in ways never heard before. There's also this viewpoint regular folks often find fame irksome, just like Cillian Murphy does. In fact, my husband's like that too. And I absolutely adore Cillian Murphy. It's refreshing to see him embody the exact opposite of a typical celebrity, even while being immensely popular. His stance that not every moment requires documentation or a social media post is frankly brilliant. Lastly, it's clear that average folks don't usually make for compelling TV. Consider those YouTube vlogging families who press their children into service for their channels. It's quite distasteful. The most egregious example, those videos where they orchestrate pranks on their kids, capturing their reactions. And then there are those who coerce their families into adopting van life. All of this, in my view, borders on child exploitation. It's like we're witnessing a contemporary version of a freak show. Reflecting on TLC's unique programming, adults adopting adults springs to mind. There was this one participant who emitted some seriously eerie vibes, reminiscent of something out of a thriller movie. His backstory involved a previous attempt to adopt an adult, which was tinged with sexual motivations. Bizarrely, his wife seemed okay with him trying to adopt again, this time a pregnant woman facing imminent homelessness, if my memory serves right. Throughout, he kept dropping these inappropriate sexual innuendos about her. Quite a disturbing scenario. So TLC abruptly axed the show, and here's my theory. It's probably because that one guy was just too sinister for their taste. He owned a compound and gave off some seriously disturbing, almost criminal vibes. Plus, there was the way he seemed to be mentally tormenting his wife, all caught on camera. My hunch is whenever a show like this vanishes without a trace and gets sealed away in the proverbial vault, it's a sign that producers stumbled upon something so alarming they had no choice but to cut ties and scramble to put as much distance as possible between themselves and the controversy. The production cost for these shows is so low, I doubt ratings are the main concern. My guess is that the real goal is to fill 3 hours of nightly programming with fresh content, then rake in substantial revenue by endlessly replaying these episodes until the next season rolls around. That's all from me today, you guys. Talk to you another time on another video. Peace out.